Very good morning, South Africa. Baie goeiemôre, South Africa. Molweni Mzansi, and a very hearty welcome on a Monday morning. I know that our weekly time for State and Address of the Nation is normally on a Wednesday at 9 o'clock and still will remain so, where we update you on our opinion from the UIM perspective, matters that are going on in South Africa. Dames en here, baie welkom Suid-Afrika, goeiemôre. Ek weet normaalweg 9 uur op 'n woensdagoggend is dit ons tyd waar ek vir u alles kan vertel wat in die land aangaan, wat met die UIM aangaan. Maar vanoggend is dit 'n belangrike oggend om te praat na die verskrikking van wat gebeur het en wat nou nog steeds gebeur in Suid-Afrika. Dit was 'n besluit van die UIM en ons uitvoerende bestuur dat ek vanoggend 10 uur graag met u wil praat oor wat aangaan en wat ons opinie is. It was the opinion of the National Executive Council, the NEC, of the UIM that I desperately do make a time this morning at 10 o'clock to speak to our supporters, to speak to the citizens of South Africa that will hear and listen to our message. To all the members that are of our executive, to every single member of the United Independent Movement, and very specifically also to our registered members, thank you very much for the great feedback on our email that only goes out to our membership registered addresses. I see there was an overwhelming reply and support, and we will be doing that bi-weekly from now on. South Africa, it is sad that only last night, the president of this country, the so-called number one citizen leader of this government, and no doubt the leader of the governing party, the African National Congress, decided to make only an appearance on a Sunday after, in actual fact, 6 days this country meticulously, slowly, but categorically clearly started to burn. It is easy for a person who now finds himself in politics to go into the normal frame of mind where we do what we call opposition blue and white politics. What blue and white politics means is that the DA brings no solution, but will sit categorically as the opposition, and whatever the ANC says will say the contrary. This is blue and white politics. And that kind of politics gets you absolutely nowhere. The kind of politics that we are currently in is that 400 members of parliament sit on their backside and still continue as if everything in this country is normal. And will continue to be on ENCA, on SABC, Newsroom Africa, and be told, what is your opinion? What is your feeling about this that's happening in this country? And they will sit there and they will unbelievably tout their political rhetoric and then wait for the next bomb to go off. South Africa, I'm very sorry, but it is very clear on record today that this country has now turned into absolute anarchy. And this viewpoint can be shared not by fake news, which I will agree there is quite a bit of. I am noticing and being shown videos that are now being perpetuated on social media that were actually 2, 3, 4 years ago. And that is irresponsible of the people on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or any other site where we are fueling a already hugely volatile situation, and it is irresponsible. Social media, in actual fact, has now become not just a blessing, but a tool to spread fear, relinquish more hope, and perpetuate anger. We must be responsible as a country on what we show, what we say, and what is our opinion sold as fact. But what we have seen today, very clearly, is in actual fact an inept state where every single person that is in Parliament currently, no matter whom you are, and clearly, Cindy, no matter what opposition you are, it is time to bash them all, Cindy. Because while we are sitting here, the African National Congress, who is the governing state and who I know, are currently out of control. But so is every single opposition party, Cindy. The DA, the EFF, COPE, the Freedom Front, the Good Party, the IFP, and the rest is absolutely not even worth mentioning, are sitting back as the leadership, I say again, as the chosen leadership of this country, and are saying collectively nothing. Now, I am not an idiot. I might not have a recurring above-mentioned IQ, but I have been in the security, intelligence, and state clusters for 30 years of my life, and I can see problems and trouble if they are. Now, on matters of economy, on matters of the current state of affairs, and on the matter of a security implosion, I think I am quite clear that I have a track record. For the rest, I will do like you do, and that is give an opinion. But my 30 years in security and in intelligence is telling me that there is a clear break of national intelligence, security, operational conclave, and a structured defense in this country now of action to be taken. South Africa, we are at a point where we are far past a scenario of even wanting to meet about a decision. We are past currently the situation where we can sit and say to the president of this country, you should be lenient. We are past this mode in this country where we can even contemplate to ask the police for protection, or the multitude screaming from citizens to bring in the army. Now this morning, I am saying as a clear citizen of this country, a patriot, and now a person leading a political entity who has voice behind me. I want to be clear on the thousands that have decided to make the UIM their home. And I am saying it unequivocally and clear, so that there can be no ambiguity or no one can understand us wrong. Ek wil die volgende sê, as 'n persoon wat 'n Suid-Afrikaner is, as 'n persoon op hierdie oomblik wat 'n patriot is, en as 'n persoon wat 'n verkose en groot ondersteunende politieke leier is van die United Independent Movement, met duisende nou, wat opgestaan het en gesê het, dat geen ander politieke instansie wat parlement toe wil gaan, of wat op hierdie oomblik in die stede en munisipaliteite wil dien, wil ek sê, ek praat nou duidelik, en ek wil nie de mekaar woes sê, oor wat ek nou gaan sê nie. I was told today, after requesting again via email, via Twitter, and a message to the presidency and to Parliament, that without fail, we must immediately invoke a state of emergency and immediately deploy the South African National Defence Force in all hotspots. And then I was told that we must be very careful on requesting the South African National Defence Force to be deployed, because the army is not currently trained to, in actual fact, deal with domestic violence. You are talking to an ex-military man and a person who served alongside and as senior advisor within the defense and military conclaves of this government, and therefore cannot be lectured on such activities and on such an experienced opinion as myself. If there was any other debate today, I am talking about today, then you can actually have that debate with me, but not on a matter that I served 30 years on, which is state security, intelligence, and the security opinion of forces. And having had more than 3 security companies in my life, globally, I think I can speak. The only difference is, I am now a political leader sitting amongst those whom are currently absolutely lame ducks, full of fear and have no guts. And I'm sorry if we are offending you, if we are not speaking to you in a compassionate manner, and if we hurt your feelings. Well, let me tell you, the politicians of this country is burning, and you have no way of appeasing us at 10 o'clock this morning yet. It is clear that what is happening in this country is now due to an absolute lack of authoritarian leadership. You see, it is on record. And if we have to compile the videos, the messages, the TV programs, the quotes of people that are so-called leaders in this country, it would be an indictment of treason in this country that are being perpetuated against business owners and citizens. And I will clarify that. We as South Africans have been bloody sitting, watching Macro, Spar, Pep, Pick and Pay being destroyed and looted. No protest of this current person called Jacob Zuma, who absolutely must be in jail. With Dali Mpofu still having the absolute arrogance, yet constitutional right given to him by us, to sit and waffle and talk absolute rubbish, to still say that the constitutional court of this country was wrong in sentencing a citizen, not a former president only, a citizen whom is not above the law, to jail. The Constitutional Court in majority sentenced him as being guilty of contempt, not of being Jacob Zuma. He was found in contempt of court. And because he is an habitual breaker of authority and law, they decided in their wisdom as the justices to put punitive imprisonment as an action against him, and they were 100% correct as the judiciary. But we waffle on. Now, Mr. President, listen to me. I have respect for your office, not for person. Jy weet in die army, al hou jy nie van die mens nie, moet jy nog steeds die rang respekteer. In the Defence Force, Even if you didn't like a person, you had to still salute the rank, and today I will respect the office. Most definitely not the person. I am sorry. It has come to this, where the united independent movement, above Mr. Steinhuisen's waffling, the ineptness and blowing on of this by the EFF, the continual raising of points of order of the rest of the opposition, and not one member on the other side of the parliamentary bench is rising up to fight. And I am sorry, the only reason I can imagine why Steinhuisen and Terror, Lakota, Patricia de Lille, and the rest of the cabal are not meeting at one place and unequivocally saying enough is because you are scared. Dis omdat julle lafaarde is. Because while you contemplate elections, while you are standing to say the right thing, the UIM is demanding action. Not politics. Because the UIM does not come from politics, it comes from Citizen X, ek en jy, you and I. And it is business people like you and I that are sitting at home and waiting for the call to see our place looted, our place burned to the ground, and the poor South African police, like this morning in Pietermaritzburg, being called outnumbered. Where have you seen, in a state of lawlessness, clear looting and pariah, does a government still stand back and admit on SABC that the reason they cannot engage 800 looters in Pietermaritzburg attacking Macro is because they are outnumbered? And then the excuse you have on delaying to actually let the military get involved is because you say they are not trained for domestic dispute. What an absolute lot of rubbish. Do you think we are stupid? Mr. President, you unleashed the Defence Force during COVID to neck us and to keep us in our houses. You deployed the South African Defence Force to assist the police in the Western Cape with gangsterism. You unleashed the Defence Force to help the most pathetic, inept police minister this country has ever had, who was found unfit to even be a national police commissioner, to unleash them on the beaches of normal citizens. But today that you are asked, no, demanded by peace-loving people like us to bring in the Defence Force, you haven't done so. It's ironic. It is pathetic. And it is sad. Now, Mr. President, unleash the army. And unleash them now. Let the tanks roll out. That we have. Let the men come out with guns. Let helicopters rain. And if necessary, vat jou duikbote wat jy oor het en seil in die rivier op en neek hulle. There is no more time in this country now to pussyfoot around the current so-called human rights of citizens that are causing panic, fear, and yes, sir, economic meltdown domestically and internationally. Now, as a war man, I am saying, if you cannot and you are outnumbered, which you are, then we are ready. Hear me well. The citizens of this country, many of us, are trained to protect and serve and defend, and if necessary, to attack. The multitude of men and women that are currently in cloth and in suit can very easily be asked to muster and to come in and help defend the police. We are bloody well trained. Meneer die president, ons lyk maar miskien oud en rof. Ons lyk miskien kaalkop en grys. En ons lyk miskien onaanvaarbaar, pateties en sag. In ons mooi handgejikkelde truie, mooi gestrykte golfhemde en fantastiese baadjies, maar etter kan ons raak. Meneer die president, ons offer nou vir u duidelik ons hulp. As hierdie land aanhou brand, as hierdie land se polisie soos vanoggend nie die nommers het nie, as die weermag inkom en dit ook nie kan hanteer nie, en ons sien ons dorpe brand, Pietermaritzburg, die hoofstad van Durban het geval. Durban en KZN brand. Nou het ons toegelaat dat daai massiewe vulkaanlava van anarchy gestroom het in Gauteng en julle het dit gesien kom. Nou meneer die president, as dit nodig is, dan roep jy ons op. Want dan sit ons politiek agter ons. Dan sit ons ras agter ons. Die verskeidenheid van geloof agter ons. En dan kom ons. Want 'n land wat brand, dis daai tyd wat eenheid in hierdie land bewys sal word tussen die menigte Suid-Afrikaners, maak nie saak of jy wit of swart is nie. Mr. President, we are available. There are many leaders in this country that have not given their soul away for the shekel of a kroon. We are ready to stand with you, maybe not as a person, but as the Commander-in-Chief officially and the President of the Republic. We are ready. We are very ready. As always, a united South Africa will come together for you. So we are waiting the remedy of the police to be bolstered, the remedy of an immediate call of action to unleash the SANDF, not to hurt us, but to protect us, to protect our livelihoods, and to protect our businesses from total anarchy and destruction. The umpteenth calls, Mr. President, I got from international businessmen and people to ask if I am okay. Is the country okay? Because what they are seeing is absolutely horrific and it has never been seen at this scale before. You cannot, Cyril, sit and wait 6 or 8 days to talk. While COVID is killing us, locking us down again, and now while we are being locked down because of this pandemic, people are coming to burn and take our livelihoods away. This is not democracy. This is not what we fought for on any side. This is not what South Africa stood for. This is not Mandela. This is not Mandela. The ANC is dead. The ANC has died as a brand, as a government, and as a governing party. It is dead. The opposition have no power. And therefore, again, this flag needs unity. And although the United Independent Movement is not in government, although we are not a new fad and a massive group, we grow by more than 500 a day now. Today, the stats, just as of yesterday, a further 1,800 members joining the UIM. Why? I'll tell you why. We don't take nonsense, we don't lie, and we say and do at the same time. We feed people. We protect. Today in this rain in Cape Town, we'll be going out and visiting 5 sites to see if the people are fine. I will be doing that. What about you? This is leadership. And it is very, very painful that even the UIM that's not in government is now more trusted than what you are, the government. The DA in the Western Cape, the IFP, COPE, and everybody else must now realize that you had 27 years, and I am not going to sit here and mix words. You failed. But right now, let us put the politics behind us. And let's stand up as a government, as leaders. Because one thing we have not done is we have not prayed to God as a nation. The hell we are seeing physically today is because a country has become godless. Ons is goddeloos. Ons is goddeloos. Ons is sonder God. Now, no matter what God, be it Allah, God, ons, Jesus, if you are within the Torah, the Quran, or the Bible, we are asking the religious leaders to get up now. Cyril, you can't control people en masse, breaking down macros and pick and pay. But you block our churches from getting together. It is because we don't have faith and we have lost hope that we are burning today. South Africa, I receive more than 300 WhatsApps a day. More than 1,000 emails a week. And this is my message. Number one, an immediate state of emergency in areas required for the Defence Force. Number two, that all members of Parliament be summoned for an immediate caucus on a strategy forward, but no pussyfooting around and playing politics in that chamber. You will get into that Parliament within 48 hours. And yeah, wear your mask and social distance. But you will get back to Parliament. Mr. President, summon Parliament, bring all these lazy, inept politicians back. And if you cannot, then Zoom it, groom it, boom it, or bloody Facebook it. But 400 people will come back in 48 hours, leave their chicken licken, their brandies and coke, their comfortable homes, and get bloody back to work. Mr. President, I want to see a flurry of cars. Maybe some of the money stolen, they can now give back and fill their own cars. Maar ons wil 'n gedreun van tyres, 'n gezoem van petrol sien van elke lid van parlement waar julle nou na julle constituents toe gaan en vrede gaan organise. Do you hear me? Now if I was president, I would kick your butt. Because what are you doing at home? Jy. No. This is not a time now to excuse yourself that you have a flu or that you fear COVID. As a member of parliament, you will go out now and defend this country. You will. Yes, you will. Every single member of parliament, if I was your president, I would demand that you get showered out of your 90s and get in your beautiful German car and go to the people and help them. Now, nie môre nie, kry jou gat in rad, member of parliament, en neek binne in jou gebiede in, en gaan help jou mense. And if you die because of the consequence of defending your people, so be it, because you bloody took an oath. Jy het 'n eed gesweer. You didn't take an oath for Carducci, Prada, Calvin Klein, and bloody alcohol. You took an oath in front of the speaker, in front of Judge Mogoeng, and you made that oath in front of us, the people and citizens. Now, if it means that you've got to go out there, face, danger, then bloody do it. Because you represent the people, and the people are burning. Julle slap gatte. Now, I am going out there today. I am going. And it matters not who I am. I am but a small person. But I will go out there visiting and making sure that the people are okay. That my constituents see me. Rain or thunder, it matters not. How can you look at yourself in the mirror when your country is burning and you were elected to protect us? Now today is the litmus test. Vandag is daai publieke toets, parlementariërs. Vandag, if you're a ward councillor, gaan counsel jou mense. Get out of your house if you're a councillor and go serve your ward. I want to see pictures and photos of councillors, yes sir, going door to door and saying, my name is Jan Rapp. I know you've never seen me, but I am your councillor. Are you okay? That's leadership. That's taking the bull by the horn. Because in this country where we fear today, where we see it burn, you are supposed to be in the trenches, councillors and members of parliament. Ministers, in your beautiful, protected BMWs. Now take your bodyguards, because that's actually why they're there, and go into that fire. Gaan in die vuur in en stop hulle. And only then will the citizens of this country maybe have belief that we have people that lead. And if you cannot do this, we will come in. Because the next line, Mr. President, is we have hundreds and thousands of security companies that are ready. We have hundreds and thousands of people in this country that served in the Defense Force, pre and post, but today there is no definition. I can give you my word that every person that served in the old army and police will offer their service today and won't look back at the past, but will stand the line and fight for the future. I can tell you that. And when you look at people like the Boerelegioen, like the people that speak to the VVR, people like Piet Kraus, sorry, I'm mentioning a couple of people, they will stand. I cannot speak about the others, but they can stand. Because today is not a day about party politics, race, or the past. We are sitting and watching our country burn. And it is not a black thing. It is not a white thing. It's not a poor or rich thing. It's a South African thing. Today we don't need a nice guy. Today we don't need my fellow South Africans. Today we need a fighting leader. A leader that will get up and muster the South Africans to have hope. Do not fear. Calm your anger and rely on it. Now, when people speak this way, the politicians will say they're looking for war. Neil de Beer is angry. Die boere wil weer beklei. It's a racist thing. It's a poor thing. Utter rubbish. I am sorry. Then you're missing the absolute point. And if you do, it's because that's your agenda. I am clear. We do not want to hear the word war. Now I blame, yes I do, and I have evidence. I have evidence if necessary. You as the government, and I'm sorry to pick on you, but there's no one else for now. You have heard perpetually now for 3 months the word war. Now to the Minister of Police, if you can just look above your beautiful fashionable hats. To the Minister of Defense and to the Minister of so-called State Security. This is your fault. Now you ask why. I'll tell you why. I have the evidence. You have heard that a person like Edward Zuma, the drunkard, live on television, and we can subpoena that tape, said we are at war. You have heard Edward Zuma say he will spread anarchy and die, if necessary, with these people at Nkandla. You've heard it. You have heard the daughter of Zuma inciting violence in public. And not only that, you have seen the EFF cabal clearly breaking the law. Now, just 3 things I have mentioned that are in public and on record. Now I'm asking you, not as a person that's aggressive. Yes, I woke up at 4 this morning with 84 messages from citizens saying, Neil, jy moet praat. You must talk today. And I am. The president should be in this mood. The president should have shown this emotion bloody last night by saying, genoeg is genoeg en julle gaan geraps word vandag. But he didn't, and it was just that, en weet jy wat, jy het my laat slaap. There's no emotion. There's no getting up and saying with clear authority that you will stop that violence today. Cyril, you might as well have just fallen asleep. You see, with respect, every time you come up with my fellow South Africans, it looks like you just had a meal. No, sorry, you might be a calm and great orator, and I know you, by the way. You're a unionist. You're an ex-unionist, a good negotiator, apparently a great businessman, but a terrible commander-in-chief. You can't lead an army. And if you can, lead it now. Get into your cars, get into your helicopters, and go land and sort them out. Julle het die spesmagte, julle het die taakmag, you have POP, you have TRT, and every other acronym in forces. Collapse on them and sort them out. Because that is how you sort out a possible revolution. I am sorry. I am calling it what it is. It's a revolution. Because that's what the people have been telling you on TV. That's what the people have been saying to you on TV, radio, Twitter. Where's your intelligence services? Where's crime intelligence? Oh, sorry. You fired them. Where's national intelligence? They suspended. There's absolutely no intelligence or intelligence. Where are they? We have more than 150,000 police. We have more than 100,000 defense. You have all the security companies in this country, plus us, the normal citizen that have been trained. We are ready. Now, Mr. President, when this looting goes from the absolute pathetic stealing of televisions, mattresses, washing machines, implements, and alcohol, you must shoot them. Because here's a question. What if a shop owner today decides to go and defend his property? I'll tell you what's going to happen. He's going to stand there, they're going to attack him, he's going to shoot them, and you are going to lock him up for life. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. But you won't do it to the people in Nkandla, and you won't do it to the EFF when they march on Swaziland, Eswatini, or when they conjugate outside Pretoria like they did and no one has been arrested. You see, Mr. President, that's what's happening in this country, and you can take it from me. It's true. You have lost Johannesburg city center, you have lost Pietermaritzburg, and you are losing the rest of this country. And hear me well, they are going to burn malls, they're going to burn shops, and the next thing they're going to do is they're going to farms. Now let me quickly tell you, if they are going to go and conjugate on our farms and start attacking our food, then I'm very sorry. The citizens will have to declare then this government out of control. We will have to call UDI, and we will then have to take our country back. Do you understand me? I will say that so that it is clear and that people are not taking my voice as that of subjugate. I am saying it very clear. Mr. President, you must stop the escalation of violence now, because you have been forewarned. The justices of this country need your protection. Now, I know it is easy for us because we are not in government yet, but we are the people. So we are saying, as the United Independent Movement, Cyril, you have not lost us yet. We are behind you. Maar wragtig, it is not a weak man if you get up and ask for help. It is not a shown of weakness in actual fact. It is a shown of strength. Trust me, I have asked for help in the past year more than what you can believe, Mr. President. Humble yourself. Mr. President, humble yourself, because you might find more support in your humbleness than what you can ever imagine. The United Independent Movement believes in democracy. The United Independent Movement believes in the Constitution. And the United Independent Movement believes in South Africa. The calling of war, the calling of anarchy, and the calling of violence in the name of now an incarcerated prisoner can be no excuse for where we are as a beautiful country. I know I speak on many behalf when I say we are in dire need of God's protection and strong leadership. And if we don't have strong leadership, we know as a country we will never be without God. South Africa, have hope. South Africa, support law. Do not break it. If you steal, loot, pillage, burn, you are the minority. But you are influencing now the majority. And when you influence the majority, then those that stand like me and the 2,000 people here this morning, you will find the barricade of justice. You will see the simmering light shine of God that will bring justice. We therefore must not let this country disappear into history as a country that could not unite in the time of its darkest hour. For we come from a history of hurt. We come from a history of a lot of hate. But we come from a country that can unite. We will unite. We will unite against this filth. We will unite against this destruction. Now is not the time for politics. Now is not the time for racial segregation. Now is the time to take out your heart, put it on your chest, and rise. Help. Speak. Change the negativity to hope. Find the religious leaders to pray. But demand from your government, demand it, what is only fair to us. We will overcome this. We will unite. But we can only do so under God, under the Constitution, and the hope that today is the turning point where this government will rise and protect us. We eagerly await the action of our President the action of the now defunct leader of the police, but we pray for them. We pray for South Africa. We ask the world out there to pray. To every single person in the world watching now overseas. To every South African, you are not ex-South African. You are South African, but just in another geographical area. To our international partners, I want to say this to you. South Africa is a far stronger country than what it looks today. Do not give up hope on us. Stand firm with us. Give us your prayer. Give us your support as the world. Because like many other times, South Africa will come through for you. So to every international company, to every single international investor, to every single international group, my humble apology that yesterday's voice of our president seemed lame and also not of action. But on his behalf, and on behalf of the UIM as their president, publicly I want to say thank you in advance for standing with this nation. You have invested in us before. Invest in us again. Yes, we have turmoil. Yes, we are currently facing challenges. But to every person in the world, we are a mighty nation when we unite. Help us. Don't leave us. We will conquer this period of time. To every South African sitting in every foreign country, New Zealand, Australia, America, the United Kingdom, Europe, Russia, India, Pakistan, no matter where you are as South Africans, send us messages of hope, not of despair. To those international South African citizens, do not worry about your families. Do not worry about your sons, your daughters, your mothers and fathers in this country. The South African I know will never let harm now come to them. We as the UIM and many others, if necessary, will look after them. Do not give up hope of your country. We are enough in this country to fight for the good, to pray for hope, and to be the light. So to everybody today, we must pray. We must now demand protection, and if necessary, make sure that your neighborhood, your street, your town, your city, your province gets your care and love. Make sure that your old age homes, the places of retirement, your hospitals, the places that are currently incapacitated, the people that need care, that they are 100% fine. South Africa, when I finish now, make it your duty en masse to call your loved ones. Make it your responsibility to call your mom, to call your dad, to call your gran and your grandfather, your son and daughter, and just ask them if they are okay. WhatsApp them if they are okay. And instead of spreading pictures of burning and demise, send a prayer of hope and a message of love. For at the end of the day, God is a God of love, and South Africa are his children of peace, hope, prosperity, and a South African that is a rainbow nation. Although the clouds are over us today, although thunder and lightning is coming, I sit in God and a hope of a nation that soon these clouds shall break, such thunder shall pass, and light will again shine on this republic, this beautiful, amazing Republic of South Africa. Mag hierdie donderwolke sonder hoop, mag ons vrees as 'n nasie en die verskrikking van ons toekoms op 'n goeie volk vandag weggaan. Doen my 'n guns en bel jou ma, jou pa, jou oupa en jou ouma, jou seun en jou dogter. Stuur 'n boodskap van liefde, hoop en vertroue dat ons as een is. Want hierdie wolke sal breek. God se lig sal skyn. I will end now with a prayer. So pray, all of you, now with me. Dear Father God, ons almagtige God, today we speak out of a lot of passion, a lot of compassion. To many we have lost hope again. To many we fear. And yes, to many we are angry of what we see and hear. But what we know is the drowning of such violence will come when people that are good and in your light will rise. Ons almagtige God, ons vra U vandag, al is die kwaadheid in ons, die hoop verdwyn, en die toekoms lyk bleek, dat weer eens is dit 'n nasie op sy knieë, en 'n knieg wat ons buig, nie omdat ons bang is nie, nie omdat ons oorgee nie, God, maar omdat ons bid vir U sterkte, U lig en U mag. God, we ask You that today, You will remind us of Your light. This is a nation crying, demanding from our leadership that justice must be done. We ask wisdom, because today, God, is not about politics, it is not about benches, it is not about opposition. Today is about an oath we make to You, and an oath that we made to protect our people. Bring that wisdom on our leaders, bring calm. But at the end of the day, You are a just God, and may such justice reign. Ons Vader, ons vra U asseblief dat U kalmte sal bring, dat U die vuure sal blus, en dat U die families sal veilig hou. Want ons weet, daar is net een president. 'n President wat nooit verkiesings hê nie, en 'n president wat nooit verkose is nie, maar dit is U. Father God, we ask You to bring Your hand of peace, Your almighty hand of calm, and the rays of light shine on this small country, on the most southern tip of Africa, which today needs that almighty blessing. Where we have wronged, we ask for forgiveness. Where we have sinned, we know Your Son has paid with blood. And where we make our mistakes, guide us to repent. We ask this in Your holy name. Ons vra dit in U goddelike groot naam. And we ask Your blessing on this Republic of South Africa. Ons vra dit in die seëning oor hierdie republiek. Inkosi, sikelele, Mzansi Nomhlanje. South Africa, thank you. Baie dankie. I know I've taken a lot of time. Spread this message as far as you can. We will be putting it over into a YouTube format so that you can WhatsApp it. We'll do this within the next hour. I thank you for your time. I think it is important that we get our message out there. I think it is time that we switch on the lights of this country for peace. Stand strong, be strong, and remember what I said, be in God. Dames en here, baie dankie, stuur hierdie boodskap maar aan, share hom, soveel as wat jy kan. Ons sal hom later publiseer, ons sal hom later uitstuur, maar ons vra jy asseblief, maak seker almal kry die boodskap wat ons op hierdie oomblik uitstuur. Mag die Here julle seën, may God bless you, and thank you again for giving me this time to always have a speak to you. Thank you.